The storm did not scream. It whispered. Ice dust moved like ghosts across the frozen ground. The sky was pale, almost white, with no sun in sight. On this planet, cold was not weather. It was a rule, a law. Anything weak died fast. The human walked slowly, each step heavy. His boots were cracked. His gloves were torn. His breath came out in short clouds, then faded into nothing. He did not know how long he had been walking. Time felt broken here. His ship was gone. His crew was gone. Only the cold remained. He told himself one thing again and again: keep moving. If he stopped, he would freeze. Then he saw the structure. It was half buried in ice, black metal covered with frost. Not a ruin, not natural. Someone lived here, or had lived. The human forced his legs to move faster. His vision blurred. His fingers felt like stone. The door opened before he touched it. A wave of warm air rushed out. He almost fell. A tall figure stood inside the doorway. She was alien, no doubt about that. Her skin shimmered like pale silver blue, marked with dark lines that glowed faintly. Her eyes were sharp, glowing softly in the dim light. She wore thin robes, torn and burned in places. Blood, dark and thick, had frozen along her side. She looked powerful. She looked furious. And she looked terrified. "You!" she snapped. Her voice was sharp but weak, like a blade with cracks. "Human, shut up." The human had not spoken. "We are freezing," she said, teeth clenched. "Get in my bed. Now." The words hit him harder than the cold. He stared at her. What?" She stepped back, swaying. For a moment, she looked like she might fall. She grabbed the doorframe, claws digging into metal. "Do not make me repeat myself," she hissed. "I do not have the strength." The human looked around the room. It was small but advanced. Energy lights flickered. A single bed rested against the far wall, layered with heat panels and thermal cloth. This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. "I don't understand," he said carefully. His voice shook. "I can leave if—" "Idiot," she snapped. "If you leave, you die. If you stand there, I die." She pressed a hand to her side. The glow on her skin flickered, dimmer now. "Your species produces heat," she said. "More than mine. I need it." The human swallowed. This was not kindness. This was survival. Outside, the storm grew stronger. Ice slammed against the walls. The temperature dropped again. He felt it even inside. She turned away from him, clearly angry at herself. "I was not supposed to end like this," she muttered. The human took a step inside. Then another. The door sealed behind him with a heavy sound. Warmth wrapped around his body, painful and sharp. He gasped. She watched him closely, ready to strike if he tried anything. "You are afraid," she said. "Yes," he answered honestly. "Good," she replied. "So am I." She moved toward the bed slowly, each step controlled but weak. When she sat, her body shook. The glow along her markings faded to a dull gray. "Come here," she ordered again, "before the cold finishes us both." The human hesitated. Every story he knew about aliens screamed danger, power, cruelty, no mercy for humans. But this one was bleeding, shivering, alone. He approached the bed. The heat panels activated as he climbed in, but it was not enough. The cold still clawed at them, trying to break through walls and metal. She lay beside him, stiff and tense, not touching at first. Her body radiated a different kind of cold, like deep space. Then the storm hit harder. The lights flickered. The heat dropped. She cursed softly in her own language. Without a word, she moved closer. Her arm rested against his chest. Her skin warmed slowly, reacting to him. She froze when she felt it work. "It's working," she whispered. The human did not move. Her breathing slowed. Her eyes closed for a moment, then opened again, sharp and searching. "You will not speak of this," she said. "To anyone." "I don't even know your name," he replied. "Good." Silence filled the room, broken only by the storm outside and their breathing. After a long moment, she spoke again, quieter now. "I was exiled," she said, "by my own kind. He did not ask why. They said I was too dangerous, she continued. Too different. Her fingers tightened slightly against his sleeve. They left me here to freeze. The human stared at the ceiling. I didn't come here to save anyone, he said. I just wanted to live. She gave a bitter laugh. So did I. Outside, shapes move in the storm. The human did not see them, but the senses did. A faint warning light blinked red. And somewhere beyond the ice, hunters were drawing closer. The order had saved them, for now, but the night was far from over. The storm did not stop. It pressed against the walls like a living thing, testing the shelter, looking for weakness. Inside, the heat struggled to survive. The room stayed warm only because the human was there. The alien woman noticed it before he did. Her skin markings slowly brightened from dull gray to a soft blue. She breathed in deeply, as if the air itself had returned to her. She did not pull away. That surprised her. For cycles, no one had been allowed this close. The human lay still, careful not to move too much. He could feel how cold she still was, like metal left in space. But it was changing. Slowly. You are strange, she said at last. He turned his head slightly. I get that a lot. That was not humor, she replied. I know. Silence returned. The heat panels hummed, weak but steady. Outside, the wind screamed louder, then faded, then screamed again. She studied him openly now. His worn clothes, his cracked gloves, his face marked by cold and exhaustion. You should fear me, she said. I probably should, he answered. But right now, I'm too tired. She almost smiled. Almost. You humans are soft, she said. Your bodies break easily. True, he said. But we keep moving anyway. That caught her attention. She shifted slightly, closer. The warmth increased again. Her breathing eased. Do you know where you are? She asked. Frozen, he replied. That is not an answer. He thought for a moment. An exile zone. Her eyes narrowed. How do you know that word? I saw the markers outside, he said. Rex. Old camps. Warning symbols. No one comes here by choice, she said. I didn't. She looked away. This world is where my people send problems, she said. Criminals. Failures. Embarrassments. And you? He asked gently. She was quiet for a long time. I questioned the council, she said finally. Their wars. Their rules. Their cruelty. That's it, he asked. For them, she replied. That was everything. Her voice hardened. I was strong. I commanded fleets. I ended wars before they began. She closed her eyes. They feared what I might become. The human listened. He did not interrupt. They stripped me of rank, she continued. They called me unstable. Then they sent me here, alone, injured, with failing supplies. Her hand clenched. They expected the cold to finish what they were afraid to do themselves. The human felt something twist inside him. That's not justice, he said. She laughed quietly. Justice is a word the powerful use when it benefits them. Outside, something metallic shifted in the storm. She felt it. Her body tensed. Do not move, she whispered. He froze. Her eyes closed briefly. Lines of light ran across her skin as she focused. Scanners, she said softly. Old ones. Weak, but active. Someone's looking for you, he asked. Yes, she answered. Eventually, they always do. Her fingers pressed into the bed. If they find me like this, she said, they will not hesitate. He understood what she meant. And me? He asked. She looked at him. They will not care enough to kill you, she said. You are human. That should have hurt. It didn't. He nodded slowly. Figures. She watched his reaction carefully. When he did not pull away, her grip loosened. You are not angry, she said. What good would that do? He replied. That answer confused her. For the first time since her exile, she felt something unfamiliar. Relief. The heat in the room stabilized. Her body responded more quickly now. Color returned to her skin. Strength followed. She sat up slightly, then winced. "You are still injured," he said. "I will heal," she replied. "I always do." He reached into his pack and pulled out a small thermal wrap, old but intact. "This might help," he said. She stared at it. "You offer aid," she said slowly, "without being ordered." "Yeah," he said. "It's kind of our thing." She allowed him to place it over her side. Her breath caught, not from pain, from surprise. "No one has touched me since the exile," she said quietly. "They were afraid." "I'm not," he replied. "That makes you foolish." "Maybe," he said, "but you're alive because of it." The shelter lights flickered again. This time, the warning tone was louder. She swung her legs off the bed, already alert. "They are closer," she said. "Hunters." He sat up too, despite the cold. "What do we do?" he asked. She looked at him, really looked at him. A human. Weak. Exhausted. Still standing. "We survived the night," she said. "After that, we change everything." Outside, shadows moved through the ice. And for the first time since her exile, the alien woman did not feel alone. The warning tone stopped. That was worse. Silence meant the scanners had gone passive. The hunters were close enough now that they did not need signals. They trusted their eyes, their weapons, the cold. The alien woman stood still, listening. "They are patient," she said softly. "They let the cold weaken you first." The human pulled his jacket tighter. "Sounds efficient." "Cool," she corrected. She moved to a wall panel and pressed her palm against it. The lights dimmed further. Heat dropped to a careful minimum. "We hide," she said. "No movement. No sound." The human nodded. They returned to the bed, not for comfort, but for survival. The panels activated again at low power. Outside, the storm swallowed all sound. Minutes passed. Then more. The human's teeth began to chatter. He tried to control it, but the cold crept back into his bones. His fingers went numb again. She noticed. Without a word, she shifted closer. This time, there was no hesitation. Her arm wrapped around his chest, pulling him in. Her skin reacted instantly. The glow along her markings flared bright blue, then settled into a steady light. Her breathing deepened. Strength returned to her posture. "You are warmer than before," she murmured. "I'm trying not to freeze," he said. "That is acceptable." Another long silence. Her body heat changed. It was no longer cold. It was different, deep, steady, alive. The human felt it slowly pushing the cold away. Outside, a shape moved past the shelter window. He held his breath. The alien woman did not move. Her eyes stayed open, focused, sharp. The shape passed. The night continued. At some point, the human's fear faded. Exhaustion replaced it. His thoughts slowed. "Why help me?" he whispered suddenly. She did not answer right away. "You are useful," she said finally. He almost laughed. "Almost. That's not very comforting." She turned her head slightly, her face close now. "Do you want a comforting lie or an honest answer?" "Honest," he said. She considered him. "Because you stayed," she said. "You could have run when I stood up. You didn't." "I was already freezing," he said. "Didn't feel like running." "That is not the reason," she replied. He was quiet. Her fingers tightened against his sleeve, just a little. "My people believe strength is control," she said. "Fear. Distance." She exhaled slowly. "You do not use any of those." "I'm not strong like you," he said. "You are strong in a different way," she replied. "That confuses us." The shelter creaked as the temperature dropped again. She cursed softly. "The heat will not last," she said. "When it fails, my body will shut down first." "And me?" he asked. "You will freeze faster," she said calmly. He swallowed. "That's honest." She shifted, bringing him closer still. There was no space left between them now. "Human," she said. "Yeah." "If you feel fear," she said, "do not pull away. Sudden separation could kill me." "Got it," he said. "No sudden moves." Her head rested lightly against his shoulder. Her voice dropped, no longer sharp. I was trained to command thousands, she said. I was never trained to be alone. The words were simple. The meaning was heavy. I don't command anyone, he said. Most days, I just fix broken things. Then fix this night, she said quietly. The heat spiked again as her body drew more from him. Pain flared in his chest, sharp and fast. He gasped. She felt it immediately and pulled back a fraction. I am taking too much, she said. It's okay, he said through clenched teeth. Still breathing. She studied him, concern clear on her face. Why would you endure pain for a stranger? She asked. He thought for a moment. Because no one should die alone, he said. Especially not because someone else was afraid of them. The words settled between them. Something changed. The alien woman's eyes widened slightly. Her glow softened, shifting from blue to white. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Outside, a hunter stopped. Its shadow paused near the shelter wall. The alien woman felt it and reacted instantly. Her arm wrapped around the human again, shielding him as if he were the fragile one. She focused. Her body temperature stabilized. Her strength returned fully now. The hunter moved on. The danger passed. She did not release him. When the night grew quieter, she spoke again, voice low and steady. This night will be remembered, she said. Not for fear, for change. He looked at her, tired but honest. Then let's survive it first, he said. She gave a small, real smile. The rules had already begun to break. The shelter shook as the storm grew louder. Ice slammed against the walls again and again, like something trying to break in. The lights dimmed, then steadied. The warning tone continued, slow and steady, like a heartbeat. The alien woman stood near the console, her posture straight despite the injury. Her eyes followed the sensor lines on the screen. They are circling, she said, not attacking yet. Why wait? The human asked. Because they believe the cold will finish us, she replied. They enjoy watching hope die first. He did not like the way she said enjoy. The temperature dropped again. The human felt it immediately. His fingers stiffened. His breath grew heavier. The warmth that had kept him alive began to fade. She felt it too. Her skin lost some of its color. The glowing lines dimmed. Get back on the bed, she ordered. He did not argue. He moved quickly, pulling the thermal cloth around them both. The heat panel struggled, then slowly adjusted. She lay beside him again, closer this time. There was no space between them now. Her head rested near his shoulder. Her arm crossed his chest, fingers curling into the fabric of his jacket. Not in fear, in need. Her body reacted faster this time. Warmth spread through her skin in visible waves of light. She exhaled slowly, almost in relief. This should not work, she murmured. But it does, he said. Yes, she replied. And that makes it dangerous. Why? She turned her head and looked at him. Because my people believe humans are weak, she said. Useful only for labor, never for survival. Well, he said quietly, they are wrong. That made her pause. She studied his face. No anger, no pride, just truth. You are not strong like us, she said. I know. You do not heal fast. I really know. You cannot survive this world alone. He met her eyes. Neither can you. Silence followed. The storm outside softened for a moment, as if listening. Her fingers tightened slightly against him. When I was exiled, she said, I promised myself I would not need anyone again. He did not respond. He let her speak. I told myself dependence was weakness, she continued. That isolation meant control. She closed her eyes. But control does not keep you warm, she whispered. The human swallowed. I've been alone too, he said. Different reasons. Same result. She opened her eyes again. Loneliness, she said, is a slow death. He nodded. The warning tone changed. Faster now. She lifted her head and looked at the console. They are closer, she said. Too close. Can we hide? He asked. For a time, she answered. But not forever. She reached out and powered down part of the shelter. Lights dimmed. Systems went quiet. The room fell into near darkness. Only the storm light from outside and the faint glow of her skin remained. She leaned closer to him again, instinctively. He felt her heartbeat. Fast. Controlled. Alive. If they break in, she said, they will take me. And me? He asked. They will ignore you, she replied, or kill you by accident. He did not hesitate. Then we don't let them in, he said. She looked at him sharply. You would fight trained hunters. I'd slow them down, he replied. That might be enough. That answer stunned her. You would die, she said. Maybe, he answered, but not for nothing. Her breathing changed. Something inside her shifted. Her species valued strength, power, victory. But this was different. This was choice. She lifted herself slightly, ignoring the pain, and placed her hand flat against his chest. His heart beat hard under her palm. You are afraid, she said. Yes, he replied. Yet you stay. Yes. Her hand remained there longer than needed. No one has ever chosen me when death was an option, she said quietly. He looked at her. Then maybe it's time someone did. Outside, a sharp sound cut through the storm. Metal scraping ice. Her eyes narrowed. They are testing the door, she said. The shelter shook again. She did not pull away this time. Instead, she pressed closer to him, drawing warmth, drawing strength. Her skin glowed brighter than before. Not from heat alone. From resolve. If we survive this night, she said, voice low and steady, I will not run again. He nodded. If we survive, he said, I'll follow your lead. That made her pause. You trust me? She asked. I do now, he replied. The storm howled. The hunters moved. And in the darkness, two beings from different worlds prepared to break every rule they had ever been taught. The first came without warning. Metal screamed as something struck the outer wall. Ice fell from the ceiling in sharp shards. The shelter shook hard enough to knock breath from the human's chest. They are here, the alien woman said calmly. Calm was her weapon. She rose from the bed despite the pain, her movements precise. The glow along her skin brightened, sharp lines cutting through the darkness. Power returned to her posture. The human followed, legs unsteady but determined. What do I do? He asked. Stay behind me, she replied. Another impact hit the door. This one was deliberate. Council hunters, she said. They will not speak first. The outer seal cracked. Frost spread across the metal-like veins. A blade of blue energy cut through the door. Then silence. The door folded inward. Cold rushed in like a living thing. 3 figures stepped through the opening. They were tall, armored, their forms hidden behind dark plating etched with the same symbols that marked her skin, only theirs burned red. Hunters. Their weapons hummed softly, ready. The leader tilted his head. So the exile still breathes, he said. She stepped forward, placing herself fully between them and the human. You should have left me to the cold, she said. It would have been cleaner. The hunter's gaze flicked past her. Then he noticed a human. You brought a pet, he asked. The human felt anger rise, sharp and sudden. She felt it too. This human is under my protection, she said. The hunter laughed. A dry, metallic sound. You have no authority, he replied. No rank. No future. His weapon lifted slightly. You will come with us. She did not move. No, she said. The second hunter activated a scanner, sweeping it over the room. It's using her heat, the hunter said. Disgusting. The human clenched his fists. The leader looked bored. Kill the human, he ordered. Take her alive. That was the moment. Before fear could stop him, the human stepped forward. No, he said. The hunters paused. Even she turned to look at him. The leader tilted his head again. It speaks. The human's voice shook, but he did not step back. You don't need to do this, he said. You already left her to die. Walk away. The hunters stared. Then laughter echoed through the broken shelter. Human. The leader said, You are nothing here. The human swallowed. Then you will have to go through me. She reached for him. "Do not," she warned. But it was too late. The leader raised his weapon. A flash of light filled the room. The human was thrown backward. Pain exploded through his side as he hit the wall. Air left his lungs in a harsh sound. "Enough," the leader said. The alien woman moved, faster than the hunters expected. She stepped between the weapon and the human, her body flaring with light. The energy blast struck a barrier and shattered into sparks. Her power filled the room, bright and cold. "You will not touch him," she said. The hunters hesitated. "She has regained strength," one muttered. "Because of the human," another replied. The leader's eyes narrowed. "So this is why you survived," he said. "You fed on weakness." Her voice dropped, dangerous and controlled. "I survived because I was not alone." The hunters advanced together. The shelter could not hold. She turned slightly, her voice low. "When I say run," she said to the human, "you run." He forced himself to stand. "No," he said, "not this time." The leader lifted his weapon again. She made a decision. With a sharp motion, she slammed her palm into the floor. The ice beneath them cracked. Hidden charges, old, damaged, forgotten, ignited. The floor collapsed. The hunters fell first. The human grabbed her hand as they dropped into darkness. Cold air screamed past them. The shelter above vanished in a roar of ice and metal. They hit hard. Pain flashed white. Then silence. For a moment, neither moved. She was the first to speak. "You disobeyed me," she said. He coughed, then laughed weakly. "Yeah." She turned her head toward him, eyes glowing in the dark. "Thank you," she said. Above them, the hunters shouted in anger. Below them, the exile and the human lay together, alive, injured, and no longer running. The darkness was thick and cold. Ice dust floated slowly in the air, glowing faintly from the alien woman's skin. The tunnel beneath the shelter was narrow, broken stone and frozen metal all around them. The human tried to move. Pain shot through his side. He groaned and stayed still. "Do not move," she said immediately. Her voice was close. Too close. She was lying beside him, one arm braced against the ground, the other across his chest, holding him in place. "You are injured," she said. "So are you," he replied through clenched teeth. She ignored that. Her eyes scanned him quickly. No panic, no shouting, only focus. "The impact cracked your ribs," she said. "Maybe more." "That's great news," he muttered. Above them, metal scraped against stone. The hunters were climbing down. "They will follow," she said. "Then we should move," he said, trying again. Pain fled. He sucked in air. She placed her hand against his chest again. The warmth returned, steady and strong. "Listen to me," she said. "I can still fight. You cannot." He met her eyes. "I'm not leaving you." "That is not your choice," she snapped. "Yes," he said quietly. "It is." For a moment, she looked almost angry, then confused, then something else. No one had ever argued with her like this without fear. The scraping above grew louder. She made a decision. She shifted, sliding his arm over her shoulder. "I will carry you," she said. "You can't." "I can," she replied, "and I will." She stood, lifting him with controlled strength. He bit back a cry as pain ripped through him. "Sorry," she said, softer than before. The tunnel stretched ahead, sloping downward into darkness. Old emergency lights flickered to life as she moved, responding to her presence. "This place," he said, breath tight. "You planned this." "Once," she answered. "A long time ago, in case the council came." They moved quickly now. Above them, the hunters dropped into the tunnel. Energy weapons flared. The ice walls exploded behind them. She raised a free hand. A wave of frozen air slammed backward, slowing the hunters. "Impressive," the human said weakly. "Stay awake," she ordered. The tunnel narrowed ahead. Too narrow. She stopped. "They will catch us here," she said. The human looked around, vision blurred. "What if we don't run?" he said. She turned sharply. "Explain." He swallowed. "This tunnel," he said. "It's narrow. They have numbers, but they can't surround us. Her eyes narrowed. You want to stand and fight, she said. I want to slow them, he replied. Give you time. That will kill you. Maybe, he said, but it might save you. Her jaw tightened. No, she said. Then knock me out, he replied, because I'm not moving. The hunter's lights appeared at the far end of the tunnel. She stared at him, longer than necessary. Then she laughed once. Short, sharp. You humans are impossible, she said. She lowered him gently against the wall and stepped forward. No, he said, grabbing her sleeve. That's not what I meant. She placed her hand over his. You already did more than enough, she said. Now it is my turn. She stepped into the center of the tunnel. The hunters advanced, weapons raised. She lifted both arms. The air temperature dropped instantly. Ice formed in sharp patterns along the walls, racing forward like living blades. The tunnel became a weapon. The hunters fired. She absorbed the blast, her glow flaring brighter than ever. She did not move back. She moved forward. The human watched, breath shallow, heart pounding. She fought not with rage, but with control, with purpose. When the last hunter fell back, wounded and retreating, she stood alone in the frozen tunnel, glowing like a star trapped in ice. She returned to him slowly. You should have run, she said. He smiled weakly. You should have left me. She helped him stand again. No, she said. You stayed. Above them, the tunnel shook. More hunters would come. But something had changed. For the first time, the alien woman did not feel hunted. She felt chosen. And for the first time in his life, the human felt that staying had been the strongest thing he had ever done. The tunnel was silent again. Not peaceful, watchful. Ice coated the walls where the alien woman had fought. Cracks of frozen energy still shimmered in the air, slowly fading. The hunters had retreated, but neither of them believed it was over. They will regroup, she said. They always do. The human leaned against the wall, breathing shallow. Every breath hurt, but he stayed standing. Then we move, he said. She studied him for a moment. You should not be able to stand, she said. Yeah, he replied. I get that a lot. She turned and continued down the tunnel, slower now, making sure he could follow. The path opened into a wide underground chamber, an old command vault, buried beneath layers of ice and time. Ancient symbols lit up as she stepped inside. The lights responded to her presence. This place recognizes you, the human said. It should, she replied. I built it. She moved to the center of the chamber. A raised platform waited there, covered in frost. This was meant to be my last stand, she said quietly. If the council ever came for me. The human looked around. Old weapons, broken drones, a power core, still breathing faint energy. And now, he asked. Now, she said, it becomes a message. She placed her hand on the platform. The room awakened. Energy surged through the walls. The air vibrated. Her skin markings flared brighter than ever, no longer weak or unstable. Focused, controlled. Outside the chamber, alarms echoed. They found us, the human said. She nodded. Good. She turned to him. When they arrive, she said, they will see me as I was meant to be seen. He shifted, pain flashing across his face. And me? He asked. She walked to him and placed her hand on his chest, steadying him. You are the proof, she said, that their judgment was wrong. Footsteps echoed from the tunnel. Voices followed. The hunters entered the chamber, weapons raised, but they stopped when they saw her. Fully lit, fully standing, unbroken. The leader stepped forward. You should be dead, he said. I am not, she replied. You are still exiled. She lifted her chin. Exile ends when the council is forced to look, she said. The leader laughed. You think hiding underground changes anything? She gestured to the platform. The chamber opened above them. Ice cracked. Stone split. A beam of light shot upward into the storm-filled sky. A signal. A beacon. This chamber broadcasts on council frequencies, she said. Every word. Every image. The hunters froze. You would expose yourself, the leader said. Yes, she replied. And you? She stepped onto the platform. Her voice carried, calm and strong. I am alive. I was abandoned. I survived. And I did not survive alone. She gestured toward the human. He stayed when you fled. He protected when you hunted. He gave warmth when you chose cold. The hunters hesitated. The leader's voice wavered. The council will never accept. They will listen, she interrupted, because they fear what I represent. She raised her hand. The chamber's defenses activated. Energy barriers slammed into place, separating the hunters from them. You are dismissed, she said. The hunters fired. Their weapons bounced harmlessly off the shield. Slowly, reluctantly, they retreated. The beacon continued to burn. The human exhaled, relief washing over him. So, he said, you just called out your entire government. Yes, she replied. Bold move. She looked at him. You changed the equation, she said. You reminded me I was not powerless. He smiled faintly, happy to help. The chamber quieted. Outside, the storm began to weaken. She stood beside him, no longer alone, no longer hiding. The exile had ended, not with surrender, but with return, and the galaxy had been forced to watch. The storm ended slowly, not all at once, but in breaths. The wind softened. The ice stopped screaming. For the first time in many cycles, the planet was quiet. Inside the underground chamber, the beacon still burned. The alien woman stood toward the center platform, her glow steady and calm. No pain, no weakness, only control. The human sat against the wall, wrapped in thermal cloth, breathing carefully. His ribs still hurt. His body was tired. But he was alive. The signal reached them, she said. The council cannot ignore it. Good, he replied. I was getting tired of running. She turned to him. You never ran, she said. That mattered. Moments passed. Then the chamber's console lit up again. A symbol appeared. Council frequency. She did not hesitate. She stepped forward. The voice that filled the room was cold and formal. Exiled one, it said. You were ordered to remain silent. I obeyed long enough, she replied. Images flashed, records of the hunters, the attack, the shelter, the tunnel, the humans standing between weapons and an exile. Silence followed. You survived with human assistance, the voice said. Yes. Humans are weak, the voice replied. She looked at the human. No, she said calmly. They choose. That word hung in the air. You are ordered to return, the council said. Your exile is suspended. The human let out a slow breath. She did not smile. On my terms, she said. The council paused. You will stand beside me, she continued, placing her hand over the human's shoulder. Or you will face what you created. More silence. Then, your terms are accepted. The signal ended. The chamber lights dimmed. It was over. She walked toward him slowly, then stopped. You were brought into my bed to survive, she said. Nothing more. He nodded. I figured. She extended her hand. But you stayed, she continued. And because of that, everything changed. He took her hand and stood, wincing. So what happens now? He asked. She looked up toward the opening sky. We leave this world, she said. Not as exile and survivor. As what? He asked. She met his eyes. As equals. Later, as rescue craft ascended through thinning clouds, she returned to the place where it had all begun. The broken shelter. The bed, half buried in ice. She touched it once, gently. A throne does not always look like power, she said softly. Sometimes it looks like warmth. The human stood beside her. I thought you ordered me in there because you were angry, he said. She allowed herself a small smile. I was, she replied, and afraid. The craft doors opened. They stepped inside together. The planet faded below them. The galaxy would remember many things about that night. The exile who returned. The council that was forced to listen. But most of all, it would remember the human who did not run.